Hello, good morning. I'm Sonali here. We are here on Education on Cloud. For class 10 science, we have a chapter named Source of Energy. So let us do the in-text questions. What is a good source of energy? Okay. A good source of energy fulfills the following criteria. It produces a lot of heat per unit mass. Okay. It produces lot of heat per unit mass. That kind of energy fulfill the following. Does a huge amount of work per unit mass. Then it should be easily accessible. It should be easy to store and transport also. Then it is economical. Then it produces less amount of smoke. So these are the qualities of good energy source, which is having produces lot of heat, huge amount of work, easily accessible, store and transport should be easy and economical, and it should not give less smoke. Or if you could use any source of energy for heating your food, which one would you use and why? Okay. Natural gas can be used for heating and cooking food because it is a clean source. Okay, it is heating and cooking because it is a clean source of energy. It does not produce huge amount of smoke, okay, on burning, although it is highly inflammable. Okay, so it is easy to use, transport, and it produces a huge amount of heat on burning. Okay, next we will see what are the disadvantages of fossil fuels. Disadvantages of fossil fuels are burning of coal and petroleum here produces a lot of pollutant causing air pollution. Okay. Second is fossil fuels release oxides of carbon. They release oxides of nitrogen, sulfur, that causes acid rain. When rain falls, if oxide of sulfur mix with rain, it converts sulfuric acid. Oxides of nitrogen mix, it gives nitric acid. So that rain will be highly acidic in nature. The pH of the rain will be highly acidic. When it falls on the crop, buildings, human skin, animals, so it will be hazardous, dangerous. Okay, so which affects the soil fertility and potable water, everything. Okay. Burning of fossil fuel produces gases such as carbon dioxide that causes global warming. Okay. Next we are seeing why are we looking at alternate source of energy? Because fossil fuels, which has been traditionally used by human being as an energy source, are non-renewable sources. Okay, so these sources of energy are limited and cannot be replenished. They are limited sources and cannot be replenished. Okay, so they are being consumed at a large rate, and this rate because our population is increasing day by day, so their consumption is also increasing. So that's what they will be over soon. So we should see some kind of energy sources which are renewable, means which can be recycled, it which can be reused, it like that. So then the fossil fuels would be exhausted from the earth, so we should conserve the energy by, hence we should look for a alternate source of energy. Okay. Now, how the traditional use of wind and water energy been modified for our convenience. Okay, traditionally waterfalls used as a source of potential energy, which was converted to electricity. Okay, water was converted to electricity as the help of turbines. With the help of turbines, since waterfalls are few in number, water dams has been constructed in large number. Nowadays, hydro dams are used to, in order to harness potential energy stored in water. Okay, now in water dams, water falls from a height on the turbine which produces electricity. Okay, like this. So water is converted to electricity, like that. Wind energy also, by windmills, wind energy also converted to electricity, like that, electrical energy. Now earlier windmills were used to harness wind energy to do mechanical work such as lifting, drawing water from a well. Now windmills are used to generate electricity today also. in windmills, the kinetic energy of the wind is taken and harnessed and converted into electricity. In windmill, you would have seen always windmills are fixed in the outskirts of the city, on the top of the mountain or hill, and where the large wind is coming. In the city you will never see that. Why? Because in the city that much strong wind is not present because of the building structure, and people are present everywhere. That is why. So windmills are always situated in outskirts of city, in the open plain area where the lot of wind is present. So in that windmill, two structures you can see, the fans and the pole. In that there is a one dynamo also. That dynamo is converting wind energy. It is trapping wind and trapping wind energy, converting it to electrical energy. So in rural areas and in the small places where the electrical supply is not possible, so wind energy is very useful to give electricity to all the areas. Okay, so we can say here, harnessed and converted to electricity. The rotatory motion of the blade turns the turbine of the electric generator to generate electricity. Okay, what kind of mirror, concave, convex or plane, would be best suited to use in a solar cooker, and why? Okay, solar cooker is based on energy trapped from sun energy. Okay, solar heat, sun heat is getting trapped, and that is converting to another form of energy. So solar cooker uses heat of sunlight to cook and heat the food. A mirror is used. Why the mirror is used here? Order to reflect and focus the sunlight at a point. Okay, a concave mirror will be used here in a solar cooker for this purpose. Why mirror is used? To reflect and focus the sunlight. So concave mirror will be used. The mirror focused all the incident light at a point. The temperature at that point increases, thereby cooking and heating of the food is possible. Okay, at that point. Next we are seeing what are the limitations of the energy that can be obtained from the oceans. Okay, now limitations of energy, like the form of energy that can be obtained from the ocean are tidal energy. So tides will not be every day. Wave energy, yeah, waves are present, but tides are obtained only in the specific days. Okay, so and ocean thermal energy also. So here there are several limitations in order to harness these energies. Okay, first is tidal energy, depends on the relative positioning of the earth and moon. Accordingly, earth, moon and sun, then only the tides will come, and that high tides, when it comes, then only that energy can be trapped. So it is not every day. Then high dams are required to be built to convert tidal energy to electricity. Okay, so that is also not possible. So there are limitations for using of this energy. Next is very strong waves are required to obtain electricity from wave energy. So waves are present, but very strong waves which can be converting it to electricity is required. Then to harness ocean thermal energy efficiently, the difference in temperature of the surface water and the water at the depth must be, there should be a difference is 20 degrees Celsius or more. Okay, then only it can be harnessed. What is a geothermal energy? Geothermal energy means geothermal power plant, if we are talking, uses heat of the earth, okay, to generate electricity. Geo means under the earth. Whatever heat is trapped, that will be converting it to generate electricity. This heat energy is known as geothermal energy. When there are geological changes, like what are the changes can possible? Molten rocks present in the core of the earth are pushed to the earth's crust. Okay, or this forms the region of hot spot. So steam is generated when the underground water comes in a contact with these hot spots, forming hot springs. Okay, and this trapped steam is used to generate electricity in geothermal power plants. Okay, what are the advantages of nuclear energy? Now there are many advantages also of nuclear energy. We can see the large amount of energy is produced per unit mass. Okay, secondly, it does not produce any smoke. So it is a clean energy, no side products. Then fission of one atom of uranium produces 10 million times of energy released by burning of one atom of carbon. So burning of one atom of carbon gives how much energy? By 10 million times more than that by one atom of uranium produces. Now fusion of 4 hydrogen atoms produces a huge amount of energy, approximately equal to 27 MeV. Okay. But the disadvantages are also associated with that, because the reactions, the nuclear reactions which takes place for liberation of that specific energy, that specific reactors are required, and sometimes that energy is beyond the control. So much energy will be there, so controlling will be difficult. So secondly, it will be, sometimes it is very hazardous for human health also. Okay, so can any source of energy be pollution free? Why or why not? No source of energy can be pollution free. Consider that solar cells are only pollution free. Okay. However, even their making causes environmental damage indirectly. So in case of nuclear energy, there is no waste produced after the fusion reactions. Okay. However, it is not totally pollution free. To start the fusion reaction, approximately 107 Kelvin temperature is required, and which is provided by fission reaction. The waste released from fission are very hazardous. Okay, so hence no source of energy is pollution free. Okay. Hydrogen has been used as a rocket fuel. Would you consider it cleaner fuel than CNG? Why or why not? Okay. Hydrogen is a cleaner fuel. Okay. Hydrogen gas is cleaner than CNG. CNG is compressed natural gas. CNG contains hydrocarbon. Therefore, it has carbon content. Okay. Carbon is again a form of pollutant present in CNG. On the other hand, hydrogen is waste free. Okay. But the fusion of hydrogen does not produce any waste, hence hydrogen is cleaner than CNG. But obtaining so much hydrogen is also one of the big problem. So name 2 energy source that you would consider to be renewable. Give reasons for your choice. Okay. 2 renewable sources or energies. One is sun. So in sun, what is observed? The energy derived from the sun is known as solar energy. Okay. Solar energy is produced by, how it is produced? Fusion of hydrogen to helium. Okay. Fusion of helium to other heavy elements and so on. And a large amount of hydrogen and helium is present in the sun. Therefore, solar energy can replenish on its own. The sun has 5 billion years more to burn, hence solar energy is renewable source of energy. Okay. 2 renewable source of energies are as follows, like we can see here. Yeah. Name 2 energy sources that you would consider as renewable. So first one we have discussed, sun, and second one is wind. Okay. So the wind energy is also derived from air blowing with the high speed. So wind energy is harnessed by windmills in order to generate electricity. Air blows because of uneven heating on the earth, and since the heating of the earth will continue forever, wind energy will also be available forever. Okay. Give the names of 2 energy source that you could consider to be exhaustible. Give reasons for your choice. 2 exhaustible energy sources are coal. Number 1, it is produced from dead remains of plants and animals, and that buried under the earth crust for millions of years. It takes millions of years to produce coal. Now industrialization has increased the demand of coal. However, coal cannot be replenished within a short period of time. Hence it is a non-renewable or exhaustible source of energy. 2 exhaustible energy sources will be, one is wood. So it is obtained from forest. Deforestation at a faster rate has caused a reduction in the number of forest on the earth. Okay. So it takes hundreds of years to grow the forest. If deforestation is continued, then there will be no wood left on the earth, and hence wood is an exhaustible source of energy. A solar water heater cannot be used to get hot water on sunny day, hot day, cloudy day or a windy day. Okay. So a solar water heater uses solar energy to heat water, requires bright and intense sunlight to function properly. Bright and intense sunlight is required. On a cloudy day, sunlight reflects back in the sky from the clouds and is unable to reach the ground. Therefore, solar energy is not available for the solar heater to work properly. Solar water heater does not function on a cloudy day. Okay. So B, option B, when solar water heater cannot be used only on the cloudy day. Why? Because light reflects back. Which of the following is not an example of biomass energy source? Wood, gobar gas, nuclear energy or coal. Okay. Biomass is a source of energy that is obtained from plant material and animal waste. Okay. So biomass is a source of energy. Nuclear energy is released during nuclear fission and fusion. Okay. In a nuclear fission, uranium atom is bombarded with low energy neutrons. Hence, uranium atom split into two relatively lighter nuclei, daughter nuclei that is called. This reaction produces a huge amount of energy. In nuclear fusion reactions, what happens? The lighter nuclei combines and fused and give a relatively heavier nuclei. This reaction produces tremendous amount of energy. Hence, nuclear energy is not an example of biomass energy source. Wood is a plant material and gobar gas is formed from animal dung and coal is a fossil fuel obtained from the buried remains of plants and animals. Hence, these are the biomass products. Okay. Most of the sources of energy we use represents stored solar energy. Which of the following is not ultimately derived from sun's energy? Geothermal, wind, nuclear and biomass. Okay. Nuclear energy is released during nuclear fission. Okay. Nuclear fission and fusion. In nuclear fission, what happens? Uranium atom is bombarded with low energy neutrons. Hence, uranium atom split into two relatively lighter nuclei. And this reaction produces a huge amount of energy. In nuclear fusion, what happens? The lighter nuclei is joining and fusing together to form a heavier nuclei. Again, energy required to fuse this nuclei is provided by fission reactions. Okay. This reaction produces tremendous amount of energy. Okay. And that is why we can say the reaction can be carried out in absence or presence of sunlight. There is no effect of sunlight on these reactions. Hence, nuclear energy is not ultimately derived from sun's energy. Geothermal energy, wind energy and biomass are all ultimately derived from the solar energy. Okay. Geothermal is stored deep inside the earth crust in the form of heat energy. The heating is caused by the absorption of atmospheric and oceanic heat. It is the sunlight that heats the atmosphere and the ocean. Wind energy is harnessed from the blowing of winds. The uneven heating of earth's surface by the sun causes the wind. Now, biomass is derived from dead plants and animal waste, and chemical change occurs in these dead plants and animal waste in the presence of water and sunlight. Hence, biomass is indirectly related to sunlight. Compare and contrast fossil fuel and the sun as direct source of energy. Now, fossil fuels are energy sources such as coal and petroleum obtained under the underneath the earth's crust. Okay, they are directly available for use. Hence, fossil fuels are the direct source of energy here. Okay, fossil fuels are the direct source of energy. They are limited in amount. They are non-renewable because these cannot be replenished in nature. So, fossil fuel take millions of years for their formation. That is why renewable sources should be sought. In the present, fossil fuel gets exhausted. Formation will take several years. Fossil fuel also very costly. On the other hand, solar energy is renewable, okay, and direct source of energy. So the sun has been shining for several years and will do it so for next 5 billion years. Solar energy is available free of cost to all in unlimited amount. It replenished by the sun itself. Okay. Compare and contrast biomass and hydroelectricity as a source of energy. Now biomass and hydroelectricity, if we are talking, okay, both are renewable sources of energies. Okay. Biomass is derived from dead and decayed plants and animal waste. Okay. Hence it's naturally replenished. It is a result of natural processes, and wood, gobar gas are some of the examples of biomass. Then hydroelectricity, if we talk, it is electricity generated by water, obtained from the potential energy stored in water at a height. Okay. Then energy from it can be produced again and again. It is harnessed from water and obtained from the mechanical processes. Okay. What are the limitations of extracting energy from wind, waves and tides? Okay. Wind energy is harnessed by windmills. Okay. So for this purpose, one of the limitations is extracting energy from wind is windmill requires wind of speed. Wind speed should be very good. Wind of speed should be 15 km per hour to generate electricity. Also, a large number of windmills are required for this purpose. Okay, which covers the huge area. Then next is very strong ocean waves are required in order to extract energy from waves. So wave energy also has a limitation. Whenever there is a strong waves, then only it is possible. Very high tides are required. Tides will not be every day, so that depends on the position of sun, moon and earth. So that very high tides are required in order to extract here energy from the tides. Also, occurrence of tides depends on the relative position of the sun, moon and the earth. Okay. Next question we will see, on what basis would you classify energy source as renewable and non-renewable, exhaustible and non-exhaustible? Are the options given in A and B same? No, it is not same. The source of energy that replenish in nature known as renewable sources. Okay, the source of energy that replenishes, like sun, wind, moving water, biomass are the examples. Some of the examples of renewable sources of energy: the source of energy does not replenish in nature. Okay, source of energy does not replenish are called non-renewable sources. So examples will be coal, petroleum, natural gas are some of the examples of non-renewable sources. Then exhaustible and non-exhaustible. Exhaustible sources are the sources which are energy which will deplete and exhaust. Okay, means it will be over after a few hundred of years, like coal, petroleum are exhaustible sources. Inexhaustible source of energy means are those sources which will not exhaust in the future. These are unlimited, like biomass is one of the inexhaustible source of energy. So option given in A and B are very close. What are the qualities of an ideal source of energy? Okay, the ideal source of energy must be economical, easily accessible, smoke and pollution free. It should be easy to store and transport and able to produce a huge amount of heat and energy on burning. Okay. What are the advantage and disadvantages of using a solar cooker? Okay. So are there places where solar cookers would have limited utility? Okay. Solar cooker uses sun's energy to heat and cook the food. Okay. It is inexhaustible and clean renewable source of energy. It is free for all and available in unlimited amount. Hence operating a solar cooker is not at all expensive. It requires a small box, one mirror which can reflect the sunlight and at the focus at the particular point and cook the food. That much only Okay, but the good sunlight is required. The disadvantage is that it is very expensive, means in case what we can say the arrangement, it does not work without sunlight, hence on a cloudy day it becomes useless. Okay, and the places where the days are too short or places with the cloud covers around the year have limited utility for the solar cooker. Okay, what are the environmental consequences of the increasing demand for the energy? What steps would you suggest to reduce energy consumption? Industrialization increases the demand for energy. Fossil fuels are easily accessible that fulfill this demand. The increased use of fossil fuel has a harsh effect on the environment. Too much exploitation of fossil fuel increases the level of greenhouse gases contained in the atmosphere, resulting in global warming and rising in the sea level. Okay, so global warming means heating the earth twice. Because of this kind of gases, the radiations of ultraviolet radiations is blocked by ozone, and because of that radiations are harmful, radiations are not reaching to us. So now ozone layer has created some holes, and chlorofluorocarbons and carbon dioxide is also the greenhouse gases which are covering, and because of that the earth, the radiations which comes to earth to heat the earth, after heating it is not able to go back and it is coming back, reflected back, and it is heating earth twice. That is only called global warming. It is not possible to completely reduce the consumption of fossil fuel. However, some measures can be taken by using electrical appliances wisely, okay, and not wasting electricity. Unnecessary usage of water should be avoided. Public transport system with the mass transit must be adopted on a large scale. Okay, these small steps may help reducing the consumption of natural resources and conserving.